You have a 100% chance of dying. I know, you've heard this before. Maybe it even made you uncomfortable just now. Well, good. Hold that feeling because that discomfort is exactly why we are going to be talking today. Most people spend their entire lives running away from this sentence, and in running from it, they run from the only thing that could actually make them live. Memento Mori is a Latin phrase. It means remember, you must die. It wasn't invented by a depressed philosopher in a dark room. It was a practice, a daily ritual used by Roman soldiers, Stoic philosophers, and medieval monks alike. The Roman general returned from a war in a victory parade, at the height of their glory, the crowds roaring, the entire city celebrating. A servant would stand behind him and whisper in his ear, Memento Mori, remember, you must die. But again, this was not as a threat. It was just a correction, a reminder that glory is still temporary. That the moment you think you've arrived, you haven't. The Stoics built their entire philosophy around this. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men who ever lived, wrote his private journals obsessively about death. Not because he was morbid, but because he understood something most of us refuse to. We've built the most sophisticated death denial machine in human history. Think about it. We don't talk about death at dinner. We don't mention it at parties. We've outsourced dying to hospitals so that we don't have to watch it. We use words like passed away, lost, died, because death feels too sharp, too final. Psychologists have a name for this: terror management theory. The idea that almost every human behavior, our careers, our legacies, our religions, our obsession with status, it is at its root an elaborate distraction from the knowledge that we are going to die. We build monuments, we have children, we post online, all of it on some level is the same prayer. Please let me matter. Please let me be remembered. Please let me be something so that something or some part of me can still survive. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's human. But here's what it costs us. When you refuse to look at your death directly, you refuse to look at your life directly, man. You postpone, you wait. You tell yourself there's time. There's always more time. But the reality is, there isn't. Here's what Memento Mori actually offers you. Not dread, but clarity. Death is the frame that makes this picture of life valuable. Without an ending, nothing in the middle carries any weight. Think about your favorite film. Part of what makes it moving is that it ends. A story which concludes. Any story that does not conclude isn't a story, it's just noise. Your life is the same. The Stoics used a practice called negative visualization, not positive thinking, the opposite. They would deliberately imagine losing the thing they loved, their health, their relationships, their time, not to be pessimistic, but to feel the value of what they already had. Try it right now. Imagine this is the last conversation you have with someone you love. Imagine you've already used up most of your healthy years. Imagine the version of yourself you always planned to become and ask honestly, are you them? That discomfort you feel right now, that's your life asking for attention. So what do we do with all of this? Well, the Stoics had one answer. They called it Amor Fati, love of fate. Not just acceptance of death, but active embrace of the life you have, exactly as it is right now. Not the life you'll have when you get that promotion or that new relationship. The life you'll have when you finally feel ready. That life, this life, today. Marcus Aurelius wrote, it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. You are not anxious about your job. You're anxious about wasting the only life you have. Those are not the same problem, and they don't have the same solution. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting to feel ready, because ready is a story we tell ourselves to avoid starting. The clock was never ticking towards your success. It's always ticking towards your end. Memento Mori isn't a threat, it's a gift. The most honest gift philosophy ever gave us. Every morning the Stoics wake up and remind themselves today could be the last. Not to be morbid, but to make sure they actually showed up for it. So I'll ask you what Marcus Aurelius asked himself every morning. What are you going to do today that the person you want to become would be proud of? Not tomorrow, today.